I am here to tell you what new moms need to know before having a baby. We often go into having a baby having learned how to take care of the little one, but we don't know anything about how to care for ourselves during this transition. And I get it. It feels like baby's more important, so that's who we focus on. But the reality is, if we don't learn to take care of ourselves in the process, we're gonna feel overwhelmed and often like we are drowning in new parenthood, and you deserve better. You can learn to support yourself and baby with some simple, honest advice from seasoned parents. That's why I'm sharing 5 things new moms need to know that will help support you and bring you so much more joy in new motherhood. I'm Katie Huey Harrison, founder and editor-in-chief of Undefining Motherhood, where we equip moms to do this mom thing their own way. And I am so excited to talk to you about this really important subject today of things I wish I had known that every new mom deserves to know. The first thing I want you to know is that things will look really different at first, but everything is temporary. Your life is going to change so dramatically when baby comes, and I think for the first child, that's something that catches a lot of us really off guard. We know in theory that we're going to be in a completely different world than we were before, but in reality, it's so much harder to adjust to when we don't control our own sleep schedules. We don't control our own food schedules. We're hungry, we're thirsty, we can't go to the bathroom exactly when we want to. These things are really big adjustments, but I really want you to know this, friend. Everything is temporary. Everything is a phase, and the phases are actually usually very short-lived. I remember when Jack was a baby, I had an emotional meltdown one day over the fact that I didn't think I was ever going to be able to just relax and watch football and eat chicken wings again, because it's a time-consuming thing that I would do over hours when I watched football on game days, and I felt like I had just lost this thing that I had loved for so many years. You know what? By the next football season, it was easy to schedule around naps, to give him a toy he was happy with. It was a short phase. If we can understand as best as our brains will comprehend that everything is a phase, everything is temporary, it's going to really help us get through the hard times and also enjoy the beauty and the joy of the sweet, precious ones. The second thing I really want you to know, your body needs to recover like big time. So treat it gently and with love. If you carried your own baby, there is a giant hole in your uterus, roughly 8.5 inches, and that hole needs to heal. Your organs are shrinking and moving back into the proper places. Your belly will not immediately go down. You will have contractions that will help your uterus shrink, especially if you're breastfeeding, even more so while your nipples are being stimulated. If you birth vaginally, you might have stitches that you're trying to heal from. You've got muscle sores, potentially muscle tears. If you had a C-section, you are recovering from a full-on abdominal surgery. We don't often recognize enough how much we need to give our bodies the space and the time to heal and recover. We think we're just going to walk out of the hospital in our pre-maternity jeans, when in reality, we still look 6 or 7 months pregnant, and our bodies are nowhere close to okay yet. We need to treat them with love. We need to give them support. Rest as much as you're able, which means asking for and accepting help as much as possible, and give yourself some grace to understand that your body really and truly needs time to recover. We don't just immediately bounce back. We shouldn't, and that's okay. Number 3. We always hear about how sleep is so impossible to get with a newborn, and here's what I want you to know. Yes, sleep patterns when you have a newborn are different and they are not optimal for daily life, but in most cases, it's actually possible to get some restorative rest. So I don't want you to be terrified. Here's what I want you to know. If you have a partner or support person who is helping you during this time, then you know what? You can share the load of sleep, and there are ways that you can optimize your sleep as best as possible. If you are bottle feeding baby, or you're able to give baby a bottle even if you're breastfeeding baby, then you can have someone else wake with baby for at least one waking in the middle of the night to give your body more sleep. Now, I want to caveat this. If you are breastfeeding your baby, you can give them pumped milk or you can give them formula for that other feed. However, be careful with the timing of it, because our prolactin levels peak usually between 1 and 2 a.m., which means you want to stimulate as close to that window as possible because it's going to help your milk production. So if baby's waking up between midnight and 2 a.m., you want to be the person who's responsible for that feed. But there can be a different feed during the night where you might be able to let someone else give them pumped milk or formula if that's what you choose. Now, if you are exclusively breastfeeding and you do not want anyone giving baby a bottle, then what you can do, assuming you have the support people, is you can have them handle at least one of the overnight feeds where you feed, but they do everything else. Because here's the thing, it's not just feeding baby in the middle of the night. We feed them, we change them. With some babies, we have to hold them up after and keep them up straight because maybe they're spitting up, maybe they have reflux. Even if you don't have to do that, you still want to shush baby back to sleep in most cases. It's not just a quick, easy feed and done. So you can make yourself responsible if you're exclusively breastfeeding for the feeding part, but you can still kind of do that pretty groggily and then have someone else do those other things for at least one feed a night so that you get a better stretch of rest whenever possible. All right, the fourth thing I want you to know, having things where you need them will make a huge difference. I recommend setting up strategic stations around your house to get what you need, where you need it, exactly when you need it. Now, I have other videos that walk you through setting up all of these stations, so I'll link them in the description below. But I will tell you, I love a snack station to keep you fed and hydrated, as well as changing stations for baby and a breastfeeding or bottle feeding station for baby. Whatever you're going to need for those feeding times, it's great to have those within arm's length at all times. Check below for links to those videos. And number 5, and it's time for some real talk here, but I really want you to hear me on this. So if you're multitasking, come back to me because this one is important, friend. It's okay to feel sometimes like you don't have any idea what you're doing. And it's okay to sometimes think, oh my God, did I make a huge mistake? Most new parents think this sometimes. Most new parents feel this way sometimes. They won't always tell us they do. But here's what I need you to know. Remember, tip number 1, it's temporary. These feelings are fleeting because you know what? In a lot of ways, you don't know what you're doing, and that is actually part of it. You're not wrong for this. You're not less than. You're not a bad parent. You're not unworthy. What you are is experiencing something brand new for the first time. And every day that you are a parent to your child, you are learning to parent that child at that age for the first time. Just like your baby is learning to be your child, you're a human in this world for the first time. You're learning together. It's okay. You're not supposed to have all the answers, but you're going to figure it out. You're going to be amazing. You're going to do great. And you're not alone. So now that you have some essential, honest advice that's going to support you through new parenthood, you're probably wondering, how do I know where to start? What do I do next? Well, I've got you covered, friend, with my Nesting for Baby playlist that has all of the videos to give you all the information that you need to know. I've dropped a link to it in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, I'm Katie, and I'm so excited to support you along your parenting journey. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.